they could figure out a way it saved money, they would do it, not because it was right, but because it was cheap. And someone had figured out that it was cheaper to train school bus drivers in one integrated class than do it twice. So there we met Stanley, though from that very first day we knew we would never drive the same students to the same school. Now, Stanley Easter was not only a different color from our color, he was a different kind of God's creature. When I was 16 years old, I weighed 89 pounds. Stanley Easter's biceps were so big, they were bigger around than I was, measured straight through the middle. Well, every day we would gather up, and in the morning we would sit on the bus with Mr. Bennis, and he would talk to us about an hour or so. That's what he called the classroom part of the lesson. And then for the rest of the day, all day long, we would take turns driving on every road in the county where a school bus ever traveled, so we would know every curve, every route, every pitfall. There was something that happened about the third day that decreased our class size by 25%. We had gathered that morning, and while we were sitting on the bus talking through the classroom part of the day, Mr. Bennis had been talking to us about school bus accidents. He said, "Now listen up, boys. More accidents on a school bus are caused by dogs than anything else. Old dogs just seem to hate school buses. Here comes the bus. The dog runs right out in the road, barking its head off. You see the dog in the road, and you want to turn the wheel and miss the dog. Don't do it, boys. You turn that wheel with a whole load of kids on the bus, and those kids will shift like a load of hogs, and that bus will roll right over in the road. This is what you got to learn to do, like it or not. You have to know that the dog won't hurt the bus, and you got to just hang on and go for it." Later on that day, we were out driving all around the county, and suddenly it was Bobby Jensen's turn to drive. He was driving down a dirt road beside a long cornfield. Up ahead of us, there was a bump in the cornfield, and back in that bump sat a little painted once when it was built and never painted again house. We got close to that house, and all of a sudden, out from under the front porch came a big, barking, ugly, snarly black dog. That dog came across the front yard. Bobby saw that dog, and he remembered about half of what Mr. Bennis said. Don't try to miss a dog. Hang on and go for it. The next thing we knew, the bus had left the road. We were going through the front yard after that dog. The dog turned and ran into the cornfield. The bus went right into the cornfield, mired up in the soft dirt, and the dog got away. And the next day, Bobby Jensen was gone. And our class was down to 3 people: Davy Martin, Stanley Easter, and then it was just me. Well, every day we would drive and talk. And as we gradually got to know Stanley, we began to become friends. He explained to us that he did play football because the other kids expected him to. He told us he was so big that when he got home in the afternoon, if he had too much energy, he would go out and bleed off his extra energy by bench pressing calves, or by throwing the hay bales out of the barn loft and tossing them back in again, not one at a time, but 2 at a time, one with each hand. And you just had to look at him once and you knew he was telling the truth. He told us, though, that what he really liked about school was not football, but it was all the stuff you got to learn when you went to school.